What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is the Salle River. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, it is a foggy morning here in St Norbert. Made my way out to the bridge that leads into St Norbert over the Salle River. I've driven past this spot many times and I've wondered to myself whether there's any fish around. And I think growing up as a little youngster, I never really had the opportunity to go fishing in rivers or creeks. So it is something that I'm drawn to, something that I want to experience, finding these small fish in constant action. Now, of course, having never fished in this section before, not knowing whether the fishing is any good, I cannot promise any fish, but I'm going to throw around a bunch of lures. Let's see if we get on any fish. Alright, so the Salle River, it has one or two couple of bends around this corner and it goes into the Red River. That, of course, means that anything that's in the Red River can be in this river as well. But I'm planning on going for something like rock bass or some small pike, maybe some small walleye. So for that reason, I'm not going for any big gear. I'm going to use a relatively light setup, my little speed stick setup. And on that, I'm just going to be throwing around some small lures. I'm going to start off with some Ned rigs, swap out to different lures, throw around, see if we get any action out there, any active fish. If not, I also do have some night crawlers. Can always send that out there, see if there's anything willing to feed. Alright, so after throwing around some lures for a while, learn quite a lot of this little river. For instance, right here in between the two bridge pylons, where you would think it's the deepest part of the river, there's actually a sandbar with lots of rubble on it, some tires and stuff. So the deepest part is actually next to the pylons and not in the middle of the river. Interesting little things you can learn when throwing around some lures first. Now, my second thought for today was going to be throwing a jig-head night crawler, moving around looking to see if I can find any fish. But because the water is still rather cold and I know that there are certain deep spots, I'm rather going to focus on the deep spots. So I'm putting on a drop shot rig. I'm just going to throw out some baits, leave it soaking, wait for some fish to find it, see if they're willing to go for it.
A few inches later.
Alright, ladies and gents, after a couple of hours, we finally have a fish on. This is a baby pike. throwing around a little rooster tail. And we get a lovely little baby pike, little 30 centimeter pike, lots of teeth in there. Lovely little fish, happy to get on a fish today at least. Lovely little pike. It's been 4 hours of fishing, swapped over to the rooster tail, and we get a pike. Good quick kick and he's off. I have seen 1 or 2 fish jumping, seen a bunch of small fish, even tried micro fishing, tried lures, tried worms, nothing. That was the first proper hit. So at least we're not going to get skunked today. We got a fish at least. Whenever catching a toothy critter like that, it's always important to check your line, see whether your line is frayed or whether it's nice and smooth. My little rooster tail is completely destroyed. Doesn't have a tail part anymore, but at least the blade's still spinning. Maybe swap out to a different color one, see if we get some more action. Alright, ladies and gents, it is midday. That means I've now been fishing in this area for 4 hours. Now, a lot of that time has been spent soaking baits, having the night crawlers out in the water, and I was thinking that some drum, some yellow perch, goldeye or rock bass, any one of these types of fish would go for the night crawlers out there, but we had no hits out there. Now, I've had my bait stolen a couple of times, and it might be small fish stealing the baits, or maybe some crabs. I have seen some blue pinchers in the water. I don't know if there's crabs in these waters, but if you know, please go in the comments and tell me, do you have crabs? Do we have crabs in the water? Is that what's stealing my baits? And I've also made quite a lot of changes, moving to different spots, changing out to different lures, throwing all sorts of lures to see if I can find any fish out there. Luckily, we managed to get that one little pike. Now, that saved us from getting skunked today, but that is also my first pike for the year. Yes, it's a small pike, but I'm happy to get that fish. If you liked it, please do give me a little thumbs up. And as far as the rest of the spot is concerned, it's a pretty good spot. I had a run-in with a pair of owls, as well as seeing a beaver, and there's all sorts of birds around. I can see some activity in the water, some fish moving every once in a while. Now, I wanted to fish in this spot so I can gain experience from fishing in a place like this. And I've learned out there today that even though this looks pretty calm and shallow, there are certain deep holes, and there is also a lot of grass. Now, at the moment, the lures rip through the grass and breaks apart, but I'm thinking if you're here in summer, I think you might lose a few lures out there. But all in all, a fun day out there exploring the little river. Now, if you have any questions or any information you'd like to give me, please go down in the comments and leave a little message there. And if you're new here, consider hitting subscribe, joining my community. Alright guys, but thank you for following me on this trip. And like always, see you next time.